Here are some tips and tricks for surviving in Outlast Trials, as well as getting a higher grade in your trial and overall surviving in PvP. Now this video is going to be covering beginner/intermediate tips. At the time of making this video, I have 120 hours in the game, and I've learned a thing or two, so I wanted to share a thing or two, ranging from beginner level tips to advanced and intermediate level tips. So our first tip would have to be in our settings tab. You're going to make your way into the settings and locate the noise indicator, and if you have it, you would want to switch that to on. This is a very important indicator because it tells you how much noise you're making and how long that noise is being made. So if you're completing an objective such as grabbing a key, you will actually be making noise. Another very important feature in your settings is make sure that your stamina is on. You don't want to be caught in a red moment where you're out of stamina and you're being chased and you get winded. What I do see is a lot of people stand still and wait for their stamina to come back, which is a really good thing. But however, if you're being chased and you run out of stamina, I would recommend spam jumping until you get your stamina back. While playing Invasion, I realized that a lot of rookie players don't realize that they can actually look back. And so that's going to lead me into our next topic, which is going to be our movement topic. A lot of players don't realize this, but if they're being chased and they turn around, that gives the chaser a perfect opportunity to strike. Instead, while they're running, I'd recommend using their keys to look back. This not only applies to being chased, but you can also look back while you're completing an objective, such as searching for a key or flipping a switch, which is incredibly important in Invasion. The anxiety of flipping a switch while not knowing if they're behind you is no more with this cool topic. Another good topic that I want to share with you guys is crouch jumping. So if you stand up and jump, you'll realize that you create about 2 bars of sound. However, if you crouch and then spam jump, you don't create any sound whatsoever. So if you are in a room with an enemy, you can quickly maneuver your way around without making any noise. While we're on the topic of crouch jumping, I wanted to share item cancel jumping. So let's say you take damage from an enemy. Instead of waiting the whole time to use the small bottle, what you can do is start the animation and then jump immediately. This will cancel the animation while giving you the health benefits. Next, we're going to be moving into the types of enemies you will encounter in the trials, ranging from not so much of a threat to penalizing you for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Our first and common specialty enemy you'll be noticing is the Pouncer. This enemy likes to hide in hiding spots, and you will hear them talking to themselves. As long as you stay away from that cabinet or locker, you will be fine. However, if you do get caught in a Pouncer's grasp, all you gotta do is just mash your button or use your bottle if you already have that perk leveled up. Another common specialty enemy you will see is a Screamer. Screamers are very easy to counter. All you gotta do is just throw something at them and they'll run away. However, if you don't throw anything at them and they do start to scream, your screen will shake and it might let enemies know where you're at. So this might be horrible in Invasion, so I'd recommend throwing a brick or bottle at them to stun them. Another common specialty enemy you will encounter is the Night Hunter. Now this specialty enemy is different from the other enemies because this enemy has night vision goggles and can see you in the dark. So bunny hopping to get away from him is incredibly easy to counter him. And now moving into our deadlier types of specialty enemies. Next we're gonna have the Berserker. This guy can't see you, so he relies on sound. So again, bunny hopping really does help you out here. He does also swing occasionally, so just don't be in his proximity when he swings. Another tip is that if you use your key, he will hear you. So again, having the noise setting on is incredibly important, especially when dealing with a noise-sensitive specialty enemy like him. There are some other specialty enemies like this Molotov guy, but I mean, I don't want to give him a spotlight. I'm a hater. So we're going to move on to the Jaeger. This specialty enemy is probably the deadliest, and for a good reason. They have a specialty siren that sounds like the world is ending, and if you get caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, your world will end. So a good way to counter the Jaeger is just by not being in the same room as her. She's really slow, she can't run, she's immune to all of your little rigs, projectiles, and door locks, so really the best bet is just to stay out of her way. Next, I wanted to talk about the different types of rigs you can use in Outlast. First, we're going to be talking about the stun rig. The stun rig works as an impact flash grenade, and it's really essential if you're running solo trials or solo invasion matches. And if you want to learn my specific stun build, watch this video. It goes in depth and will dominate future invasion matches. Next, I wanted to talk about the heal rig. This rig is incredibly situational, and I really don't see players using this often. I guess if you're a new player and you're learning the map, you can use this. Me personally, I only use the heal rig when I enter Rebirth, but other than that, I really don't see a use for the heal rig. Next is the barricade rig, and I would probably say would be the worst rig of them all. A maxed out level 8 barricade allows you to place 2 barricades, and each barricade takes about 7 hits to break down. And when almost each room has 2 entrances, it really doesn't make sense to barricade one of those. The next rig we have is the blind rig. And I really don't see a new player using this rig because you need to have map knowledge. And I really don't see a new player using this rig as a veteran player would. Even in Invasion, I wouldn't see this rig used ever. This rig really acts as a concussion mine / smoke grenade. And it's really situational. I really don't see how it can work in your favor. But let me know in the comments below if you actually use this, because I don't know anyone who does. Next would be the X-ray rig, and I definitely recommend this rig if you're a new player or if you're new to Invasion and you want to know where things spawn, such as bottles and bricks. You can also see the objectives if you're close by to the X-ray if you haven't maxed out, which is really cool. Saves you some time. And it also has the shortest cooldown out of all of them, which is really cool and handy.
What's that, brother?
Lastly would be the jammer rig. I definitely recommend this rig if you're not using the stun rig. This rig allows you to open up locks very easily, as well as if you have it maxed out, you can hack enemies to make them vomit, so it really does help you out in building some distance. I definitely recommend using either the jammer rig or the stun rig if you're running solos. And if you want to play Invasion, I definitely recommend using the stun rig. And lastly, a tip that I want to share for you guys is going to be an Invasion. This is more of like a mental tip. The matchmaking system in Invasion can vary. So one match you might have someone who's level 50 and might not know the map that well. And the other match, you might go up against someone who's prestige 17. So each match is going to be different. Really, I guess the last tip I wanted to share for you guys is just to have a positive mindset. A good tip is that if you are being invaded, you have more lives than the invader. You start out with 3 lives and the invader has 2 lives. So you're always going to be 1 life ahead of him. Even if you do lose a match, it's not the end of the world. Another tip that I forgot to include, but I'll include somewhere in this video. If you're playing squads fill and you're unsure if a person is an invader or not, you can ping them and it will actually live ping to show you if they're an invader, or if it won't ping them, then it'll just show that they're a person. So hopefully that helps. So yeah, those are all my tips and tricks. If you liked this video, please like this video. It does help me out a lot. Share this to someone who might benefit from any of these tips. And let me know if you learned anything new in this video. I hope that this video covered basically beginner to intermediate level tips, and I hope you guys learned something from this video. If you like this video, make sure to check out my other videos as well, and make sure to like and subscribe, and yeah, deuces.